Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, June 7th. This is Brian Shannon speaking from Alpha Trends Blogspot. Thank you for taking the time to come visit my blog here. Sorry for not getting another video to you last night, but I've been having a lot of technology problems with some of the providers, and I actually had made a intraday posting warning of danger in the queues today as well. And wouldn't you know it, Blogger is now down. So hopefully I'll be able to get this video to you as well, because I'm going to jump on an airplane to get out to that Traders Expo in Florida, and my flight leaves in about 2 hours, so I better hurry up and get this done. Let's take a look at these cues. I was looking for a little bit of a bounce today as it made a higher high above the 30. I don't even remember off the top of my head what this number was, but when it made that higher high this morning, we did see a little bit of a rally right here as it got above that 38.80 level, and it came right up to the target that was our initial level that we were looking for, which was that 5-day moving average. It pierced it by a couple pennies intraday, and one of the readers emailed me today and said, what do I look at when I trade the cues? Well, one thing I look at is trend lines, and here you can see on the 2-minute chart how this trend line break in the cues today was a very good area of where the market did end up reversing. And if we look at further trend lines and that sort of thing, you can see that uh, the other day I got long breaking that trend line. Today we got short over in here, and actually I got more aggressive as it broke down through this low right in here. And let me go back to the 2-minute chart to show you that. But that was this level right in here. I got very aggressive on the short side in here, because at that point, looking at a 1-minute time frame, you'll see as well that the market was below the daily VWAP. The daily VWAP is the volume weighted average price, and that price changes obviously throughout the day. But as it broke below that level and then broke through support, what it meant basically is that anyone that bought early in the morning was in a losing position. And in fact, the average price for the day was about 38.90 at that point, and with it down at 38.80, 38.75, I figured that everyone who bought pretty much, except for a few people that maybe bought early on over here, was in a losing position. And the market did find a little bit of support near there and daily pivot level, but we saw a nice continuation of this downtrend. And as I mentioned yesterday, and I've been mentioning, this market is extremely high risk, which is, again, if last night's post didn't make the point well enough, this is a day trading market environment, especially if you're going to be looking for these long trades right in here. The market is in a primary downtrend. It is ugly. It is broken. I'm short some of the cues right now. I've also got some puts on the cues. I don't know if I'm looking for a disaster or what, but this market sure acts heavy, and I think that we've still got to keep our eyes on this level here from the October lows of last year, and where we also have that uptrend line. So again, the market remains very, very risky. And let's take a look at the stocks I had mentioned yesterday. New York, New York. This stock, the market's in a downtrend, but it still holds up real well. So continue to set an alert up at 620. That's not going to hurt anything. NDAQ, I expected that we would get stopped out of this today, and initially it did right above here, but then the sellers came back into the stock. VRSN. We were looking for a break below 2240 before we could really wanted to consider this as a short sale candidate. Continue to do that. I like the way it kind of made this little higher high today. Now if it fails and makes a lower low, I think you're going to see a lot more panic in this, and you're going to see a much bigger, more and quicker move to the downside in VeriSign. So VeriSign continues to look very vulnerable to me. CNC, kind of a real choppy stock in here. I'd suggested maybe a stop above 26.20 or 26.40, so you should have been stopped out of that one if you were in it. And Google, our good friend here, which has shown a couple days of strength. The good thing about Google is that it found support here, at least at the end of the day, temporarily at this prior level of resistance. And now on the daily chart, though, here we've got the stock struggling with its 50-day moving average. And you can see it was sent lower from there. It looks like the stock is making a bearish flag in here. And if we back it up to the longer term trend, you can see that breaking below that would be a very important break. And I think you could see Google quickly drop down in towards these levels, down near 320. I continue to think that this market is extremely high risk. I cannot stress that enough. And I've been very I've been stressing that a lot over the last couple of weeks. Hopefully, you're not getting hurt in this market, and there's a lot of good opportunities out there if you're willing to take short positions. Certainly, this afternoon's failure in these cues was a real nice trade, and I made money with it. I hope some of you did as well. I also bought puts in the cues, and I also own puts right now in ADSK, hoping that maybe if things really get ugly, that this thing can just cave in from here. And we'll see what happens. BLUD, let's take a quick look at that one. I'm not in it yet, but I think breaking back below here, things could get bloody in this stock. So I'm off to the airport. I don't have time for anything else. Maybe I'll be back in the morning with another video with some ideas. If not, I will be posting some charts, so be sure to come back. My name again is Brian Shannon. Thanks again for your time, for viewing this blog. If you have friends who trade, be sure to let them know about it as well. And if you're going to be in Fort Lauderdale for the Traders Expo, be sure to come say hello to me. I'll be talking tomorrow at 2:45, and again on Friday, I believe, at 2:45 in one of the Realtic rooms. And let's give Realtic a plug while we're at it. All the charts that you see here are brought to you courtesy of Realtic, and what I use on this charting package is only a very, very small portion of what's available. There's all kinds of different studies that you can use. I choose to keep my analysis very simple. That's what works well for me. Thanks again for your time, and have a great night.